2, 1. We're live. We're live, and we have audio. Richard's already here, and Kevin. Who's Old Man River? I know that name. I can't think of it. Robin, hello. Let me grab my glasses. Me glasses. You can sit up front here, John, if you want. Like over here.
That's good.
I won't be coming through anymore. All right, everybody, we're just waiting until 3 o'clock. Let everybody collect. Who's all in the chat? I see Connie, Robin, Homer Lux, or Lex. Homer Lex or Homer Lux? I don't know. Yep. Hey, Carly Blue Woodcraft, Amy, that's the one.
I think it's Lex.
Remember?
Yeah.
Connie, did you just send a ornament in? Because we got a notification about shipping. So I'm assuming it was a ornament. Yep, she just said it. Mailed it this morning. I'm delayed 30 seconds, so I talk and then 30 seconds later it's on YouTube. So by the time Amy knows, it's already old news.
I know I'm going to try and listen to you today.
No, you don't have to.
Well, I mean,
It's all good.
To you, but I'm listening to you. Wait.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Travis. All right. We're just like a minute or two away from start time. You get a drink of water to wet my whistle. Good day. Everybody, while I'm waiting till the start time, it's all about ornaments today, so if you haven't got your ornament in, make sure you do. Also this Saturday, no, not this Saturday. Boy, I'm like a week off. Next Saturday, the 10th, the 11th, next Saturday, the 11th, we are going to have an awesome demo by Tim Wadley. At what time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Arizona time. 10 a.m. Arizona time. Do a Google search and find out what time that is where you live, because I don't know. All I know is Arizona time. Tim is going to be making these really cool. Do you want to grab one? Are they handy? These really cool ornaments. You can do ornaments. You can do like table toppers. And I'll tell you, you're going to want to make some of these because just the people that have seen them in here, he dropped a couple off for photos. People love these. They're super cool. And you should make them for your friends and family because they're going to think you're really awesome. That is 10 a.m. on the 11th, Saturday. It's a free demo by Tim. Tim is what I would consider like a skew master. He can turn pretty much anything with just a skew. It's kind of impressive. So you're going to learn a lot from him because he's been turning like 25 or 30 years. And we'll go over that in depth on Saturday the 11th. I'm going to try to remind as we go along. But that's going to be a real good demo. I'm lucky I get to watch it here because I'll be running the switcher board. But definitely tune in for that. It's going to be well worth your time. So we will get started here in 1 sec. Amy went to grab the thing so I can show you. Is everyone aware of the ornament contest? Look at that. I dropped it in my trash bin. I turned pink earlier if you can't tell. All right, we got Floyd Wurzy, the butcher. Nice. Susan. Michael. Richard. All right. Ornament contest. So that's what today's all about, ornaments. You can see this really cool, hopefully you can see it. Zoom in. Really cool fishing lure thing we're going to do here in a minute. But let me tell you about this ornament contest real quick. So Record Power gave us a Herald lathe to give away. So if you enter the ornament contest, you don't have to win or win your category or anything. If you enter the ornament contest, you're going to be in a raffle with whoever else enters for a lathe. So, you know, last year I think we had 120 people or so enter, maybe a little less. That's like a 1 in 100 chance at winning a $1,200 lathe. That's a pretty good deal if you ask me. So I would definitely jump in on that just for that reason. But besides that, it's St. Jude. We're raising money. Amy, come show these off. This is Amy
Hey,
who does all
y'all.
the moderating. So these are what you're going to see next Saturday by Tim. They're these off-center hat turnings, and then the little, is that a snowman?
Yeah.
Like, they're super cool. You can make these ornaments. You can make them to sit on the table, whatever you want. He's going to do a variety of different things and show you how to do those. Super cool. But back to the lathe. Everyone who enters is going to have a chance to win a lathe, plus a ton of other awesome prizes that people are putting up. We got really cool vendors and other participants that just offer up cool prizes. Let me tell you about a few of them. Easy Wood Tools is giving a set of tools for every category, including inserts and all this other stuff. So every category winner will get a full set of tools from Easy Wood Tools for that category. Stainless Bottle Stoppers put up $50 gift card. Rycon put up a full set of carbide tools. Jacob Jansen Studios put up 2 $100 gift cards to be used in their shop. And they make really cool blanks. They have all kinds of cool stuff. Actually, they have some finished goods too, so you could buy gifts or blanks to make gifts. Record Power, I mentioned the lathe. They also put up 2 full sets for bowl turning. It's like 3-piece bowl turning sets like you see on my wall. It's like a gouge, a skew, and a parting tool. Really cool sets. Stormwind's blanks, some of the best pen blanks out there, put up a turning blank package. Ring Supplies is sending a prize pack from Canada. JD up at Ring Supplies. Zach at Resin Works put up 2 $100 gift cards to his site, so you can pick out a whole bunch of cool blanks. And just today, Wicked Wax, who we'll talk more about later, Wicked Wax put up a $200 Turner's Warehouse. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 $100 Turner's Warehouse gift cards. So you'll get a gift card. You can spend it in our store on anything you want. So 2 $100 gift cards. So thanks to Wicked Wax. And if I'm forgetting anyone, I apologize, but the prizes keep rolling in. Vendors are really supporting this for St. Jude. So all these prizes are like bonus because hopefully you're just doing your ornament so we raise money for St. Jude, and that's the point. But this huge list of prizes is kind of a nice bonus, I would say. So get your ornament in if you haven't done so already. All right, what do you guys think? Was that enough ornament spiel or whatever? It's just really cool because of all the cool prizes. So today we're all making ornaments here at the store, and I haven't made one yet. So I wanted to make a couple ornaments, and I wanted to see what you all thought, because I was telling Amy I wanted to turn an icicle, and I was thinking I could do it out of a resin blank or a wood blank, but I've never turned an icicle, so that could be interesting for live viewing. Could go well, could go bad, who knows. But this like stabilized blank to me looks really cool. But first, I've got this. Oh, before I get into that, Amy's on the moderation, so if you guys have any questions or comments, I'm hoping this will be a nice chatty live stream because I'm going to get your guys' opinion on stuff. Plus, like, talk about what you're making and how you make it and stuff. It's kind of cool. It'll help people who are a little more timid. So if you have questions, Amy's on the computer. She'll shout out your question. What am I forgetting? Anything?
I don't think so. We've got people in from all over.
Yeah, where's everybody from? Real quick. Like, put your state or country or whatever, if you don't mind.
We've got Victoria, British Columbia,
Ooh, Victoria, British Columbia.
the UK,
UK, all right. I saw we had Florida.
Freehold, New Jersey, Florida.
Wait, Freehold, New Jersey? Freehold, New Jersey? Okay. Okay. Richard, Arizona, I would have never guessed. I just saw Richard yesterday. Matt, how does what work? I see Matt Miller says, how's it work? What is it? What are you asking about specifically, Matt? I might have missed it. Oh, we got Oklahoma, Kentucky. Hey, Jody. Oh, there's Ron up in Payson. Huh?
I was saying Ron from Payson.
Yeah.
Santa Rosa, California, Texas.
Very cool.
Jollyville, Texas.
Jollyville, that's a cool name.
That sounds...
I know a guy whose last name is Jolly, and he's not jolly at all. He's kind of grumpy. Okay.
Virginia, South Dakota.
San Diego, awesome.
New York, Illinois,
What's Homer Lex's real name?
Mike?
Mike, your stuff is killer, man. I've been watching your posts. There's some good stuff on there. You're killing it for sure. All right. You guys know you can send your stuff in. Amy's taking videos and pictures of all the ornaments. They're all going to be posted on eBay on those dates at the top of the form. You can send in extras just to help raise extra money if you want. You don't have to do a category if you don't want to, or if you want to do more than one. So please, everybody, jump on that. It's a lot of work, so we got to raise a lot of money to make it worth all the time. It's the busy time of year, so we want to make it maximized. All right. Should we jump into making some stuff here? So there's a couple things we're going to try today. One is I'm going to try the Easy Wood beading tool because I haven't tried that yet. And I was talking with this guy over at Resin Works Studios named Zach. And we were talking about making a custom pen with the beading tool and beading the whole pen. So don't steal that idea, or do and send me a picture. But we thought it would look really cool to bead the whole pen, cap, and body all together. Wouldn't that look cool? But we haven't done it yet. But I want to try the beading tool before I do that. So I want to do it on an icicle if I can get the shape right. But first I want to turn this bottle stopper blank. So let me show this up close. So this is it's got wood and then some moss and like tree debris on the bottom, like you'd see at the bottom of the lake. And then it's got a fly. Now, my thought is I'm going to turn it upside down to where it's more like a bulb and then kind of to a point. And then I'm going to use a stainless decorative loop to put on the top for the hanger. And I thought it would look really cool. And someone said, well, does it make sense that the fly is upside down? And I said, well, it doesn't really make sense that the fly is standing up straight in the moss either. So what does it matter, right? So it'll look cool. So what do you guys think? Will that look good? I've not used a brass decorative loop. I've used the stainless steel. But the cool thing about these is you can use these for ornaments, or if you're making like kitchen gadgets, you can always put a decorative loop at the back end to hang them up. So they're really handy, and I think it would look really cool. And so it would hang like that. Any thoughts on that one? We're going to do it either way, but let me show you real quick the setup. So this is the universal mandrel. It's going to fit on your lathe on the threads. So you need to know your thread size. This is a 1 1/4 by 8, so it threads right on. And what's really cool about this universal mandrel is this is one size, that's the stock shaft here. And then there's four bushings you can slide over this to fit different things. So one of them fits a bottle stopper, one of them fits a pizza cutter, one of them fits everything else we have kitchen-wise, bottle openers, different things. So it's really cool. It's almost like having bushings for your pen, but for the decorative loop, I don't actually need any bushing because it's for this shaft right here. So you can maybe see they're the same size on the outside diameter. So I can thread my piece on. I've put a knurled insert inside with epoxy. I can thread my piece on, and I've got a nice, secure, tight workpiece without any wobble. So you can see how solid that is.
We got Christy Caliendo in the chat.
Hey, Christy from Easy Wood. We were just talking about you. Christy, we were mentioning that you guys put up a set of tools again for the St. Jude fundraiser. Thanks so much, because that's going to be awesome. But that's what we're doing today, is turn in some ornaments. So back to this thing here. I can put this on nice and snug. Now I can still use a live center if I want just a little support on the end here, which I will. But when I get down to the end and I want to polish this and sand it, I don't have to worry about this coming loose. Whereas if I had just threaded into the wood, I would be nervous that it's going to break loose or come loose or anything like that. Christy, we're going to use the beading tool later, so if you're still around, it could get interesting. We'll see. All right.
Kevin says that his wife says that if the fly is is up, it kind of looks like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, which is legit.
Oh, that's true. Well, I can always make another one, so that's the good thing. So, I don't disagree, but we're going to give this a shot.
Sometimes they hang Christmas trees upside down, though.
Oh, do they? Well, there you go.
And they look really
Amy said they hang Christmas trees upside down, so that's good. All right, so I'm gonna use the tailstock for a little bit, just a little bit of support, and we'll see how this goes. I am gonna use a Easy Wood tool, rougher with the negative rake, because I've got wood resin here, and I don't actually remember what the wood is here. You can see that big grain. It's stabilized from the looks of it, but I don't remember what it is. So I'm gonna use a negative rake to lessen my chance of a catastrophe. And let's get started, see how it goes. Can I use the collector? All right, so I got it. I'm gonna use the dust collector here, so hopefully it's not too loud. You guys can tell me if you can still hear okay. So I've got this running at 3,700 RPMs. Let's just get this thing round. It was a little wobbly. I didn't drill it exactly square or centered. Now, the other thing is this is gonna, I don't have a lot of room to work with around the fly, but I got room on the top and the bottom. So we'll see how we can make it look good. So I'm running a large cam vac, 2 motors right now. I don't know how the sound is. Yeah, my piece is a little wobbly, and my live center definitely doesn't want to do much to help me. Okay, I'm going to get the clear part round, and then I'm going to do the wood first, because my live center is going to, this is epoxy, and my live center is going to push into this really hard. So I don't want to kill all my clear above my lure. So I'm going to use a round tool here to get in here. Anybody have any thoughts on shape? I was thinking kind of, obviously it's going to be rounded to the insert and then kind of come down to a point, like maybe like an acorn. Do you think I could shape it like an acorn? The only problem with that is that I have to know what an acorn looks like. And is it rounded on the bottom or pointy? Okay, I'm going to do a artistic version of an acorn. Okay, yeah, if you have any thoughts on shape, let me know. Here, let me see if I've got a marker. How's the sound with the cam back, okay? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'll come like this, maybe a little dip in the middle, and then like this. Although obviously not that far in, but on the edge. So I'll round it, dip, round it to the bottom. What do you think?
We have 1 thumbs up for acorn.
Yeah, and this stuff is very messy because I've turned nothing and I'm already covered in chips. The cam vac is sucking the dust in, which is nice. It'll pull some of the chips in, but there's a little grate here to stop it from getting all the way. Oh, there we go. Probably 4 is best. All right, let's try this out and see what we can do. So I'm going to use this shaping tool to kind of get my roundness. And I had a little void in the resin right about here. So maybe that's the material's way of telling me to round it right there. See, the wood already knows what shape it wants to be. It's predetermined. I just have to let it out. All right, we got the little roundness, maybe a little steeper. All right, let's see how this looks. So I'm going to round this a little more around here, and then we'll kind of come in and then round it down to the bottom. What do you think? You know, we could even put little grooves in the clear to kind of give it some shape. As long as it doesn't take away from the picture inside. So make that a little steeper. This is why the shaping tool is so nice, the finishing. And I'm going to cut my clear down so I can get a little dip in here. Oh yeah, that's going to look good. All right. A little more. I'm going to split the wood and the resin. All right, let's come down here. Oh man, this resin is hot. All right, everybody see that? See how good it looks? I'm kidding, it's covered with stuff. Can't see it at all. All right, let's uncover this thing. So it's tough because you want to take material off of it and make it look cool, but you don't want to take away from the scene inside, because there is like I said, the moss and whatever. My goodness, look at this stuff. What are? That's a good point, Mike. I'm going to take that advice into consideration because, yeah, that's a real good point. Okay. So, I think that's okay there. It's a little, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but there's like a little bit of roughness, and it's not that there's chip out, it's the moss that's right on the wood there. So we're going to leave that alone and we'll CA it up. All right. Yeah, I'm glad he said that because I probably would have made the mistake of putting some grooves in it. I need to bring this down a little more. It's too much bulk here. If this is going to be an ornament, it's going to be too heavy. I mean, I still could make it a bottle stopper, but look at all that. Yeah, this is a lot of resin. Now, I still have got plenty of room, so I'm going to take off a little more. Wait till you see this thing, though. I think it's going to shine really well. Yeah. See, my live center's not even spinning anymore, but I don't want to tighten it up because I'll just be digging into my piece too much. I don't really need the end support, but it is making that noise when it rubs on the live center. All right. Let's smooth this off a little bit here. Yeah, the brush is good normally, but this stuff is so thick because these little ribbons are so tiny. Oh, they're trying to go into the collector here. They're just so wound up so tightly, the brush doesn't even touch them. All right, let's see. What do you think? Take a little more off of the clear here. I've still got a little room, so I can do it. I'll leave the wood kind of as is. A little more point here. This is cast, if anyone's wondering. This is cast with liquid diamonds epoxy. And the reason we did that is because going with all the mixed materials, the wood and the moss and the lure, we thought we'd get the best adhesion to the materials. Whereas Alumilite, I sometimes worry that it'll separate a little bit. It might not, but I know the liquid diamonds won't, so that's why I like to use that. All right. This kind of looks like a bee, like the back end of a bee. Now we got to do a little something on this end because it's flat and there's a hole. Let's see if we get a side view. So we got to do something with that. Let's see if we can just kind of turn it off a little bit. So I'm going to do a lot of pressure pushing into the spindle versus across on the very end here. So I'm pushing down and then I can round it. Yes, this was in a pressure pot. Trying to get this a little zoomed in here. Yeah, absolutely, it was a pressure pot. It was like a year ago though, so. But see how this doesn't have any support on the tailstock, and look how rock solid it is. Now, when the resin heats up, it'll start to bend in shape, but this one is so short that I'm not really getting that. So that's okay. I'm just gonna kind of go in here, make it a little concave and then round it out. I'm just gonna make a smooth pass. Try to get all my tool marks out. Now, one thing I have to do, on this camera you can see there's a little bit of a flat side, and that is because the round tool can only get so close before, but I need to get all the way up to that white bushing or that white washer and get rid of that flat. So I'm going to use my detail tool and just come in just like that and kind of round that very top over. And if I touch that little bushing, that little spacer, it's not a big deal. But this is the universal mandrel, and I'm going to shout out Stainless Bottle Stoppers because they're a sponsor of the ornament contest, and we're making an ornament. And I can't talk and do this, I messed it up. The decorative loop is also made by them. So there we go. Round that up. All right, and I think we can sand that nicely. And this end, although it's not perfect, looks pretty cool. Say that one more time.
You have a request for a bit more definition between the wood and the acrylic.
A bit more definition, like more of a cut? Okay, I can understand that. Like maybe more of a sharpness to it? Let's try it. Who requested that?
Just a touch with the diamond tool.
Who? All right, Randall. We're gonna do it, but I hope it works. It'll work. Yeah, I mean this is an artist's interpretation. Not that I'm an artist, but it's a interpretation of an acorn, not a real acorn. But I like this idea. Let's do it. And I gotta smooth that guy off. The cool thing about this detailer is you can just move it so small. You can kind of, well, you have to come in here with another tool. All right, it definitely looks like something. I'm not sure what. We're going to sand this to perfection, though. What do you think, Randall? Actually, it does look better. I think that was a good call. Okay. So let's take it off. All right, that's pretty cool. Now you can't really see the fly anymore, but just wait a minute because we're gonna see it here in 2 seconds. All right, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of dust away. If you guys could see the back here, I got strings everywhere. I'm not gonna be able to get it perfect, but I don't want any dust floating in the air when I turn on the lathe. So, ooh, this is a mess. All right, that was a good suggestion. I'm glad we did it. It worked. There's a bunch of, look at that. It's like a donut of resin around my life center.
People like the
It kind of does look like an acorn.
That looks like a little mushroom.
Like a muffin?
A mushroom?
Oh, mushroom? That would have been good too. Uh-oh, I went way too far back. Okay, so we'll just get this out of the way. Let's finish this one real quick while we're at it, because I think this will be cool to see the whole process. I don't have my air compressor. I keep saying that every week. I need to put it out here. So I'm just going to try to wipe all the dust off. Now, let's do a quick, who wants to see what? We can do the wood with either sanding sealer and then, oh, good call. Thank you, Amy. We can do the wood with sanding sealer and then sand and friction polish, or what I'm thinking is we CA finish it, sand it, then we can use the microfine Yorkshire on both the resin and the CA finished wood, which I think would look pretty cool. So any preferences or thoughts here? Let's get this ready. I've got water ready. We're going to use a thin CA. So all I'm going to do with this CA is I'm just trying to seal up the wood. If it gets on the resin, it shouldn't really matter, but I'm not going to try to get it on the resin. But the wood is very kind of porous feeling. Oh, look at those turning lines I left in it.
Mike votes CA
Okay. Mike, the only vote?
so far.
All right, Mike, you get to pick. Which mic is it?
Left half. For my life.
Oh, nice. We should do a live stream where everybody just gets to like pick what every step. That'd be kind of fun, huh? Make something.
Vote for CA.
All right, well, that's good. That's what I'm doing. Look, I can verify it's CA. Ah. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay, so we have CA'd everything. And like I said, oh. Sorry. The only reason I am having Amy grab that CA is because it's thin, it'll leak all over the floor. Thank you. So the only reason I CA'd that is to seal it up, because this wood, I can't remember what it is. It looks so weird. But actually, look at the color in it. It's dyed and stabilized, but the rings of the grain are green, and the rest is red, and then there's more green on this side. So I don't remember any details about it, but it actually looks pretty cool. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to wet sand this little guy. And I'm going to use 400. I'm only going to sand with one grit, 400. And all I'm sanding for is to get any of my lines out. Anything I got on here, you can see all those turning lines. I think this will help, and then we can use the microfine to polish it. Way too fast. So I'm gonna turn it down slow as it'll go on this belt, which is like 950 or something. So this should really start to bring out the clear, even though it's pretty aggressive for resin, 400. You know, we would normally sand it with 400, 600, 800, and then do Zona paper. But I kind of want to see how, well, we could still do that. I kind of wanted to see if the microfine would take it all out. Has anyone used the microfine on a hybrid piece like this? Get on this wood here. Whoops. You'll see that in a minute. So oh yeah, that feels like glass. The wood is no problem. I know the 400's more than enough for that. But I'm just not sure about the resin, if that'll be enough. So we're gonna use that microfine, and then we'll still do a friction finish on the wood.
So we're talking about how this would be, it would be a cool idea to do the wood part beaded, like.
Ah, that would be, dang it. Did we do that? I've never used the bead. If we get 5 people saying to bead this wood part, I'll do it. Just because I've never done it, but I'm happy to do it if enough people want. So let's see if enough people say yes. We are going to bead on the next one, if that matters. So look at how clear that went from, I mean, it's not clear, don't get me wrong, but from the turn to that, at least you can kind of see that there's something in there. So what are they saying? Bead from like around it, like to the center?
Well, I was one who put in beads, but people were everybody wants you to bead it.
Oh.
To look like like it's the threads
Okay.
of a
Like
bowl.
like we're talking the wood part.
Yeah.
So bead it all down.
You'd have to take it down a little bit, but I think it would look really cool.
Yeah, okay. I think I got what you guys are putting down. Let's try it.
And then Christy's giving lots of good advice. Everybody wants you to beat it, basically.
Just beat it. Beat it, beat it, beat it. Just beat it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Christy says since it's hybrid, you could start with original and then go to microfine.
Oh, yeah. See, Christy knows.
And then she said on the beading cutter, faster is better and let the cutter do the work. Don't force it.
That's what I do. All right. We're going to beat it. So I've got an empty tool and a beading cutter here because I have not done it before. So we're going to try it. Did I get it? It's funny because Amy subtly tries to tell me that I have crap on my face, but she could just be like, hey, you have crap on your face. All right. Christy, thank you for including a new screw with the cutters, because I always look forward to that. Don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. Okay. So, let's see here. Got it right there. This is a lot harder to do when everyone's watching. Oh, not on. There we go. Okay, I think this is, oh, wow. 3/16 it says right on the thing. Okay. So this is a 3/16 bead tool. So I'm thinking my plan will be I'll come in here, and then just work my way around. Although maybe I should start here so I know where I'm ending. Yeah, maybe I'll start on the center and then come around. Okay, let's make this happen. All right, a little nervous, I'm gonna break it.
You got this.
She said faster's better?
She said faster is better.
All right. 4,040 RPMs. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go right on the edge.
What size bead is that?
3/16. Ooh, that works really well. Whoa, look at that. Looks cool. So I am gonna have to touch up where I cut because I didn't realize how far I would go in. I'll take this little crisper off here, but that's gonna look really cool. Okay, so now I wanna line up into that groove with this one, I believe. Yeah. I think that'll work well. Tell me if that light's better when you see it.
Yeah, she said fast as you can safely turn.
Okay. Well, I'm safely turning as fast as it'll go. Okay, so I gotta get that lined up there. What's cool is you make the groove, and if you've already done this, you already know this, but you make the groove and then it's kind of flat because it's the outside, but as soon as it gets to the bottom of the insert, right there, now it's perfectly rounded. And that would be really hard to do without something like this because you'd have to not only get that little tiny groove, but then also round it just perfectly. It kind of looks like a bee's butt here. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna kind of turn it a little and lean in. And there we go, round. Oh, that's looking cool. This makes me think the pen idea is even better. Now I'm gonna switch my hands and hold my left hand because I've got an outrigger here, so I can't really move to the side. So let's try it this way. Is that light better? It's a little brighter. Okay, I don't think we had as much overhead light today. Okay, here we go. Lefty. I'm gonna kind of lean in on it again. All right, this is cool. Great, now I'm gonna be beading everything on the lathe. Look at that, that does look really cool. All right, so now I'm turning my tool. Let's see if I can show it here a little more.
What's the exact name of that kind of tool?
This is a 3/16 beading tool. It's a insert for your Easy Wood tool. So we have them in all the sizes that they offer. But I figured since this was going to be an ornament, the smaller would be better. So I was kind of like in the start, I was straight, and then I started to kind of angle the tool a little here, a little more, and now I'm going to kind of really angle this one in. But I don't want to mess up the groove I'm going in, so I'm going to not go too much. Oh yeah, there we go. And I think this one I could kind of just, oh yeah, just a little round. And I think with a little cleanup here, I'll use a little bit of detailer here and a little bit of detailer there, and I think I'll be in really good shape. So I'm just going to knock this point off and make it smooth. That looks good. And then I'm going to kind of knock this point off here. I'm not going to take it down all the way. I'm going to knock it off. Ah, that looks cool. All right. Who was that again that suggested that?
I think it was Randall, actually.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I'll give you credit for that one. I I thought it would look cool, but I thought the wood looked cool on its own, but that looks so much better. And look at the grain now. Like the green, oh, sorry. The green and red, how cool is that, right? Can you see that? It's like striped green and red. Now the only tricky part will be, of course, CAing and sanding. So maybe we just do a little hand sanding without CAing. I don't know. How am I going to work this? Well, it fits in the grooves pretty easy. So I think we could do it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look really great.
Yeah, it's going to look really cool. So I don't want to sand across the whole thing and take off anything there. I'm going to go ahead and put the water under this. Some of you may or may not agree with this, but I wet sand everything with stabilized wood. So I'm going to turn this on real low. And I'm not going to like soak it with water, but I am going to use water. So I'm just going to put it in the groove and kind of rock it back and forth to get those grooves clean. Oh man, this looks really cool.
David said he just finished making 3 captive rings on a resin pin blade using the 3/16 cutter.
Oh, cool.
It was really fun.
Yeah, you got to send us a picture of that. That sounds really cool. Yeah, I guess just because of time I hadn't tried this beading tool, but it's been on my radar, and I even talked about it with Zach because we were talking about that custom pen idea. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing that. And I just hadn't had time to get on here and try it, but really cool. And that looks really good. We'll just leave it wet. It'll look real cool. I'm just going to kind of get this area where we made the new cut. Okay. Now let's see. I just want to try to dry this thing as best I can given our current situation. If I had air, I would definitely blow the air in here, but I'm going to try to use the paper towel and a little friction to dry it out. Should dry fairly quickly. Well, this is really cool. Yeah, obviously the beading tool would be great for bowls and vases and lidded boxes, but stuff like this where it's a little more unexpected, at least to me, is pretty neat. Okay, I actually think I got that pretty dry. And it looks pretty smooth and well sanded, except the top, where I didn't get it at all. Wait, what do I got here? So I'm just going to sand this top. I don't think I sanded that at all. And that's the top of the ornament, so I don't want it to look unfinished. Okay. All right. Any other requests? I think this looks pretty great. Here's the other cool thing about this system. Check this out. I can take it off so easily and make sure it looks good. So there's my last bead, and then I've got one little ring. Let's do a little mock-up. Obviously, we've got to polish it up, but how cool is that already? I mean, that's... It actually kind of looks like a light bulb. So that's going to look cool. Here, I don't think I was holding that under the camera. I zoomed in too much. All right, let's finish this pup. So we're going to sanding sealer this wood, even though it's stabilized. I'm just using the Mylands sanding sealer. You can use whatever sanding sealer you want, or you could use lacquer. But this is the one I recommend because I use it all the time. And also we have it at Turner's Warehouse, turnerswarehouse.com.
think some people are gonna get some beading cutters.
I'm trying to make Amy laugh, so. Yeah, you know, we always say like we don't sell stuff we won't use, and that's the case with the beading cutter. I knew it would be cool. EasyWood generally makes good stuff, so I don't have to worry about quality. I just hadn't had time, and now, kind of like the Yorkshire, I'll probably be using it a lot. Christy knows. She sent me Yorkshire because I hadn't used it, and then I use it every day, so. Like forced trial. Oh man, look at that. Doesn't that wood look good? It is a little tricky getting it down in that groove, but when it does, it looks great. All right. I kind of have to sop it on here a little bit to get it in the groove, but it's worth it. Oh, I should switch back, yeah. Sorry, I thought I was on overhead. So I've almost got it all the way in. Oh yeah, that's cool. Now I got some on the resin. You can see it doesn't matter. It's going to come off with the abrasive. So we'll give this just a sec. I'm going to spin it slowly, just to let this dry. Being here in Arizona, we can probably move a little faster with this than some places. Usually 10 to 30 seconds. Sanding sealer is rock hard and dry and whatever. So maybe the only thing I'll do is make sure the grooves are dry. Boy, how am I going to get the Yorkshire in and out of these grooves? Just like this? I guess. So my sanding sealer is dry. There's no tack to it at all. It feels hard. Well, there I got some strings in there. Nice job. But if you need to wait longer, don't rush it. Obviously, we do things on the live stream a little faster sometimes just because we're trying to finish a project and show a little more. But take your time and it'll always be a little better. So per recommendation, I'm going to start with the original. If you haven't used this, it works well, but it's not finished. Think of it as sandpaper. So I sanded the piece, kinda. I put, help me out, sanding sealer on it and let that dry. And now I'm going to use this. So I'm essentially sanding between the sanding sealer and the finish. Now, this is the original. It's probably a little more abrasive, I think, than the microfine. But I'm going to do the whole thing with it. Here, let's just start on this.
Christy says a small cotton swab works great for between beads.
Oh, that would be good, yeah. Christy, I am ill prepared for sanding in the beads right now, but we'll have it next time. Now that I will be using it a lot. Okay, that already looks shiny. Now I'm going to try to, I'm just using my finger to put a little bit on here. I'll put it on the towel. Try to. I'll speed it up a little bit. I'm not exactly following the rules here because I'm using two hands to apply this, but I do normally speed it up while I'm applying the finish.
Zach Higgins is in the house.
Zach Higgins. Hey, Zach Higgins. Hey, Zach, look what I did here. I beaded this. Zach may not remember the pen we talked about, but this is, I'm sure he's been already using the beading tool more than me. Okay. Speed this up a little bit. If you want a better tutorial on this Yorkshire, I have used it quite a bit and I do like it. You might check out my other video on it because it was a little more accurate to the instructions. This is probably driving Christy crazy how I'm doing it here, but sorry, Christy.
We got
Okay, so I'm going to wipe this clean.
Oh. Fingernails. That's what fingernails are for. And then Christy said those work too.
Oof.
I brought this for you yourself.
Oh, micro. See, this already looks good after just the original. And I could probably keep going a little bit to make it a little cleaner. I'm going to turn this on. And again, I'm just getting off any excess between coats, hopefully. Thank you. So I think I got it all clean. So that's the original that I just did here. And I've been using this jar, or container, whatever you want to call it, since November of last year. And I mean, it's down a little bit. I use it mostly for pens and smaller stuff, but it's really lasted me a long time. And I use it all the time.
We've used it in classes too.
And yeah, good point. Amy said we've used it in classes too. So, I mean, a little goes a long way. Don't blow the dust onto the piece. And the microfine is the same thing. This was from November of last year. And it's still practically full. Let's go back to this camera so you can see. All right, so I got a little bit on here. It's harder to see because it's white. There, you can see it. Oh, slow down. Way too fast. All right, now I'm going to try to polish this one and speed up. I'm going to do the resin first. Slow down. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, I haven't even got to the beadwork, and look at this thing. Boom! You have to tell me when that hits if you can see it clearly. That thing looks awesome. Okay, so let's go to the beads. And again, I'm going to try to just put on the edge here and work it into the ends. You can see from the first to the one I just went how much shinier this white makes it. Now I feel like I have a lot on here, even though it's because I was trying to work the edge. So I'm gonna have to get it off, but it really shined it up pretty well. This is Redemption, Amy. Remember the last Christmas ornament I made last year? That tree? It looked like, you know when you cut off the top of a Christmas tree and it's like flat and like horrible looking? My ornament ended up looking like that. And I gave it to Amy and her response was, she's kind of like, eh. And we didn't even do anything with it because it was so bad. So this is a little better. All right. Now, keep in mind, we're just sanding, right? This isn't finished yet. So I'm going to try to make sure I got all the Yorkshire out of the grooves here. Get back to this camera. Yeah, this wood looks so cool. I hope the camera's picking it up. Oh, there's a switch. There's some white grease right there. That makes me think it's like super smooth when you can hear that sound. So yeah, look at the green and red. Can you see that on there, Amy? Like, could you see the green earlier?
Yeah.
The grain lines?
Yeah.
So that's the Yorkshire, huh?
It looks great, and people are commenting.
Oh, cool. Now I'm going to do mylons on the wood. I'm going to try not to get it on the resin, but if I do, it's no big deal. But I'm going to just try to get it on the wood. If you've watched me do mylons before, it's the whole less is more. Now, it might get a little different with this going in the grooves, but I'm just going to try to dot first. And I'm just kind of working it and holding it. I'm getting a little bit of heat on my fingers because I think that is the best way to set it. I wonder if I should try to drip this into the groove. I feel like it's making its way in there. So, little dot. All right, I'm using my fingernail to push it in. It kind of looks like a acorn beehive, right? Or something. That came out really good. So considering this resin was, here, I'm gonna get some cleaner on my towel. Considering that resin was sanded with 400 and then just all I did was the Yorkshire grit, that's incredibly clear. I'm gonna do this cleaner polisher. This is Ring Bling, and this should totally clean anything off and give it that extra little shine. But it looks really good. And the other thing too is this blank has been sitting around for a year. I don't know why. So it could have got a little color in the clear just from sitting, but it looks really good. Even if you're not into fishing, it's kind of fun. There it is.
Blank has been around for a while.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last Christmas-ish I made these, but I don't remember. Who knows? But what do you guys think? That looks pretty cool. Let's put it on. So it could be a bottle stopper or Christmas ornament.
It looks great.
Boom. And that, it actually kind of makes it finish with a little bit of brass at the top because it looks more official. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. I don't know, you guys like it? Dislike it? Would you bid on it in a charity auction? I guess that's a question. Hopefully someone will. We'll put this in the auction. Very cool. Well, that worked pretty good, huh?
It does kind of look like a stylized rendition of a
Yeah.
bulb.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not anything in particular, but it's kind of fun with the lure in it. It's a fly. It's like a big woolly fly with a prop on the front. So it kind of maybe reminds you of multiple things like an acorn or a bulb or a bee or I don't know what else. It kind of reminds me of a Christmas ornament. Yeah. All right.
Inspire ideas for anybody?
Yeah, does anybody have any thoughts of something they could make after seeing this? Hopefully, it's kind of the idea here. That was pretty fun. I feel like anything I do now is going to be not as cool because that came out pretty good. All right, we got to try at least one icicle, right?
Yeah.
So let's do an icicle. I'm going to set this aside. If you guys are submitting, this will go in the auction to raise money for St. Jude. Not that you should bid on it, but hopefully you'll send some in for that as well. And what I'm thinking is I've got this long, it's kind of like a long skinny maple dyed blue, which kind of looks like a cool color for an icicle, right? And maybe I just taper it and then bead the whole thing. That might look cool since we're beading. What I'm going to do, since I've got length, is I'm going to use my live center because it's so long and just hold it on in a chuck. And then that way I have places to separate it. Let's see. Let's see if this one will work. So this is a SC3. I'm going to use these little pin jaws if they're big enough. Anybody have thoughts on an icicle? Has anyone turned an icicle? You know what I should do is mark the center of this for. I'm going to mark the center for my Live Center. Well, that pen's broken. No wonder it's out here. Oh, I got one right here. Does anyone remember a famous scene in Christmas Vacation where the icicle flew out of the gutter and into the neighbor's house? Do you remember that, Amy?
Yeah, because it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes, Elaine from Seinfeld, yep. Classic scene. So I'm going to just kind of clamp that for a second and line this guy up. And this could be a terrible idea. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So, anyone have thoughts on this? Jay, yes. I agree. That came out really clear for only sanding to 800. The microfine definitely works and probably is a good idea to use them together because it seemed like it like was a progression on those two polishes.
400 or 800?
400. Oh, did I just say 800? 400. Because it was this piece that I cut off of. 400 wet dry. Yep. No, I think I meant earlier, I said I normally do 4, 6, 800 and then polish, like with Zona. But I did not do that this time. What you got?
Randall said, I suggest you start with an elongated oval, then taper from there. And then Zach said, I'm all for terrible ideas. Just finished one up myself, LOL.
A terrible idea or a Christmas
That's
ornament?
not true, because his was awesome.
Yeah, Zach's looked pretty good, so we'll let him slide. All right, let's round this pup. We'll go ahead and use this round tool. Don't fly in my face. Don't hit your chuck. The only reason I'm not using my rougher is it's got a negative rake on it. Let's bring the dust collector up. Whoa! Sorry about that noise. There we go. How's that? A little better? So I actually want to leave the tailstock up for a little while. So I'm going to leave a little bit of material on the end. There we go. Okay. So, thoughts here. I guess I'm not totally round. I'm thinking taper it kind of to a point and then bead at least the top maybe half or 2/3 and then kind of down to a point because I want it to hang like an icicle. Any thoughts on that? I think it would look cool with having like a beaded section and then to a point. But I don't know. What are your thoughts, Amy?
I was reading the comments. Say it again, sorry.
We're just going to go ahead and taper it. Let's do it. So I'm just going to taper it down. Let's see. Maybe. I'm not going to go all the way to the point yet. You know, I wonder if I could taper the whole thing and do the whole thing beaded. Why not, right? Let's get a shoulder going here. Losing my tailstock. Oh, that sounds terrible. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. Okay. Is that too big for a Christmas ornament?
No, not at all. I think it's awesome.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like big ones.
I mean, it's blue. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to bead this thing. All right. Sorry if I just hit the mic. I got. What does? With that?
No, like the
Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay. All right. So I was thinking I was going to taper this more here, but I think let's do some beading and see, because that we can cut it down with the beater. I am going to prepare the top where it'll hang. So I'm going to, I'm not going to cut all the way in, but I'm going to kind of make a little rounded part where this will, when we're done, we can cut it off right here. And then we'll make a little, kind of like a larger bead for this. Well, maybe I should have used the beading tool. It does a lot better than I do. Okay, let's try this. So, I mean, this thing's so cool. Look at that thing. Now, the trick for me will be to cut smaller each time going down the taper. So I think that one looks smaller. Not smaller, but like further in. Does that make sense? I mean, I already know it's going to look cooler than just a straight, a straight icicle. And it's kind of nice because it allows you to kind of index with one to the next. I don't know why I'm getting the squeal. If anyone knows, let me know. I don't know if it's the beater or if it's me. But it looks pretty good. It looks tapered. I gotta grab some water. I mean, you can already see how bulky this looks to how less bulky the beaded area looks, which is good. Oh, that was user error. I think I went too small on that one. It just got away from me. This is where practice will come in. right, all right. We're good.
You don't have to cut further in, the blank is already tapered.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. I was still gonna try to like just make it a little smaller, but it's yeah, it's going.
Randall saying, what happens if you hold the tool at a slight angle, cutting deeper at the bottom than top?
Like a little crooked like that, maybe. We could try that. Seemed to work. I mean, even though I made this little guy a little too small, it still looks cool. Yeah, that's why I did it. Amy likes when it's mismatched, so I went ahead and mismatched it. Perfect. Perfectly mismatched. All right, so I'm letting the narrower end go in a little first. Yes. It is. It's a maple. Blue dyed maple. Now, what I'm noticing, first impressions of a second time user of the beading tool, since the other ornament was my first, I did, like, my alignment's not exactly perfect. So I don't know that the camera will pick it up, but like right here, I must have bent over just a tiny bit and it left a little bit of a gap there. Whereas the ones where I was really on point, it looks really good. So I think as you use this more and more, you'll probably get better and better results. I'm just seeing if I can kind of clean up that little extra there that I left, but I can't really. So you really want to pay attention to where the point of the beading tool is going in, because I was kind of aligning it to the side, and the point, it's kind of like this on the ends, and I should have been trying to line the point up with where I wanted it to end up. And I think that's why I got these weird little spaces. But we're going to call this one art, and then it's perfect. So you know how that goes. But it still looks cool, even though it kind of bugs me that I did that. So I'm going to try to do this one perfectly lined up. And maybe you guys would have thought of that. I didn't think to like focus on the center of the point. I know Zach wouldn't have messed it up if he did it. Oh, cool. I'm into that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is like all wobbling, and that's why we're getting these weird noises, but it's still working really well. This thing is going to be a bear to sand. See, I've really focused on these last three, and I don't know if you can tell or not. I can tell looking at it in person, but they look so much more like uniformed and balanced, and these have the weird gaps and stuff. So really focusing on where that point is going in makes such a difference. But now I know for next time. See, on the other one, I didn't really have that issue because I was going around something, so it wasn't a straight line. Yeah, so much better. I can't wait to put this beading on a bowl. That's going to look so cool. Pretty cool looking. Boy, those really stick out now that I've done these bottom ones really well, or at least I think they're much better. So how do we finish this is the question. Do we bead one last one and then have a little point off of it? Or do we kind of leave it up here and then taper this bottom part down? See, another really cool blank. This was kind of in my reject box because it was a smaller diameter, but perfect for something like this. I think I might try to get 2 more smaller beads here and then just see if we can end it with a round piece. A ball? Okay. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does make sense. So I did that one a little bit smaller, a little more. Let's try to do this one a little bit more. Still pretty big. I'm gonna kind of lean in on this bottom side. Okay, I think it's smaller. Now I'm wondering if I can come in here with my diamond and cut behind it. So I'm going to take that off, even though it looks like I'm leaving it. Now, one thing I don't want is to have this snap while it's turning, because generally it will not end up well. Oh, that worked. So I want to turn this, and I'm not going to push across, because obviously this thing is very flexible. So I'm going to come this way and push against it. I'm just kind of using my hand to give it a little support. Once I get the little lip off from the beading tool, I think I can sand the rest of it. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's see if I can get you another angle. I mean, it's weird looking. I don't know that it's an icicle, but it's pretty cool. All right, let's sand it just a tad on this end. I'll hold it up here in a second. I just want to kind of round this. That was a good idea to round it. All right. I don't know. For sanding, I guess just in between each one, right? Does it really need a lot of sanding after using the carbide to make these beads? Just trying to get around them.
Maybe a unicorn horn.
Yes, it does look like a unicorn horn.
Rattlesnake tail.
I've never seen a unicorn horn in person, but if I did, I think this is kind of what it would look like. Thanks everybody for joining in. I know we were gone for a couple of weeks. We went to the Blade show in Salt Lake City and saw the solar eclipse on the way home. That was pretty cool. And then I had to go out of town for a quick hunt after that, so we missed a couple Wednesdays. Did everybody watch the casting with Mark video? That was pretty fun. Mark makes some really cool stuff. So if you haven't watched those, go check them out. They're videos, not live streams. I think this is working pretty good. Okay. Yo.
I was gonna say is just let everybody know that we are gonna get back to mandrels and
Yes. If you were watching the Kitless series, it's not necessarily over. I mean, it's kind of done for the parts we were working on, but we are going to get back to more Kitless stuff here very shortly. We're going to do making a cap with a clip on it, making a cap with a roll stop. We're going to make some mandrels, some different things, but we're going to get to that soon. We just got to get some of this ornament stuff and some other odds and ends worked in here a little bit, but we'll be doing those very shortly. So make sure you keep watching those. And we're not done here yet, so don't leave yet. We're going to finish this thing. All right. I'm going to try to, I mean, it looks fairly good sanded.
they're saying Yorkshire grit and call it a win.
Call it a win. I'm going to put a little sanding sealer on it because I love me some sanding sealer.
It helps. It makes a big difference.
It's going to make it look good even if I mess it up. So, I mean, look at that color. It's like bright blue. The problem is I really am going to have a hard time getting into the cracks. Are they cracks or grooves? They're grooves. All right. I'm going to get a little wetter. Try to get it in there before it dries up. Oh, there we go. Ah, boy. These paper towels are not very good quality. So I'm using a little sloppy method here, but it's very tough to get in this.
We were just talking about doing ornaments, because now we're all plotting.
Yes, that's good. Do you know how many ornaments we've received so far, Amy?
I think we're pushing 100.
We are closing in on 100, Amy says. Okay, so I'm going to call that good for sanding sealer. Let me make sure I don't have any chunks in there. I don't think I do. Oh, I still have to cut this thing loose. That will be another worry in a minute. Okay, we're going to use original for this. Oh, that's a lot, but that's all right. Yeah, see, it really got into the grooves. Let's speed this up a little bit. It's like wearing through my paper towel. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge here. Maybe some like cotton cloths that don't tear up like these paper towels would be good. You can see I'm like squeegeeing it to the next slot. So I'll recap while I'm doing this boring part. Easy Wood Tools put up a whole set of tools for every category. So every winner will get a full set of tools for that style of turning, like the hollowing or the resin, whatever, with inserts. they've done that a couple years now. That's pretty awesome. Record Power has put up 2 sets of tools along with the lathe that everyone who enters will get put in for. That's pretty great. We got a bunch of gift cards from awesome individuals like Jeffrey at Jacob Jansen Studio and Zach at ResinWorks and Stormwinds. Wicked Wax put up $200 in gift cards. Rycon has a set of tools. There's so many prizes. You're crazy not to enter just for the prizes, but hopefully you want to enter for the charity aspect. It's pretty awesome.
Christy says that wax dental floss works great too for removal.
Oh, that would be good.
I have some on my desk if you want.
I don't think on this one. I think I'm almost good here. I'm going to make one more pass. I've got just barely any. Yeah, I mean, obviously this makes it a challenge, but usually anything cool looking is a challenge. If it was straight and easy to sand, it wouldn't be as cool. All right, yeah, see, I hardly got any out that time, so I was pretty close to getting it all out. All right, let's slow her down. Now I'm going to go back to my Mylands friction, and normally I do a drop. I'm definitely doing more than a drop here because I kind of have to like soak it into these grooves. So let's just work it across, and it's flinging off on me a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to go back fairly quickly and try to get into here. Oh yeah, I can see it like starting to shine as it sops up the extra that's in the middle. But at least we got it in the grooves. Yeah, it's shining up pretty good. So get the outside a little bit here.
So the deadline for the ornaments to get to us is the 20th?
Yeah, the deadline for the ornaments is the 20th. You still have time, but don't wait till the last minute. Please, get them in soon.
And then people earlier were asking about the auction. The auction will start on the 26th and run for 7 days.
The auction starts on the 26th. Hopefully you can hear Amy, but in case you can't, I'm going to repeat it. Auction starts on the 26th and runs for 7 days. It's going to be on eBay. That's a big change this year. Last few times we've had on Facebook, and you would comment and do whatever for bidding, but it was a mess. So eBay is going to be so much better. Hopefully we'll get people who don't even know why it's on there, but they just want to bid on charity stuff. So we're going to try to raise a lot. Okay, this thing looks pretty awesome and shiny. I'm going to go ahead and separate it here. I'm going to have to finish the top by hand. And then my plan is I'm going to separate it. I can hand sand it, put a little finish on it, and then I'm going to just make a loop out of metal and epoxy it in. So I probably won't show that here, but let's separate this and see how it looks. I'll post some pictures of the separated and... Oh, well, it's dry, so it should be all right. Throwing dust all over my piece. Now I'm going to try to leave a little flat top at the top here, so when I do drill in there, I've got somewhere to work rather than having a point. So, Hey John, can you hand me that saw over on that table? Little flush cut saw I think would work great. So I'm going to try to flush cut this, but I don't want this thing running. Don't ever try to saw and run your lathe. As smart as it sounds, not that I've done it, it doesn't work out well. I've heard. It doesn't work out horribly. So now I can just touch this up on the sander or by hand. I'll just get some sandpaper and run that along there. I'll sand the top and put it in there. So, I mean, I don't know if this is what I was picturing for an icicle. Way zoomed in here. But it looks cool nonetheless. It does look like a bunch of weird other stuff, like centipedes and rattlesnake tails, and what else are you guys thinking of? Unicorn horn, like this. So I don't know if this is what I had in mind. Maybe a little more taper would have been better. I don't know. I'll probably do it again. But it looks cool. Hopefully this inspired something to get you to want to make an ornament. The beading tool, pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about this, and I am going to do that pen that we talked about because that's going to look really cool. But good job to Easywood on another awesome product, the beading tool. And then the finish. So like the finish on these look really good. And you guys saw, you watched it happen. It's not that it's that hard. And honestly, if I wasn't doing a live stream, I probably would have taken a little more time on sanding and finishing to make it a little better. But with the live stream, I got to kind of keep it moving. But even so, I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. I'll have Amy post a couple pictures so you guys can see these just like this. We won't do anything to them. That way you can see how they finish up. But they look pretty good. So shout out to everybody. I got a couple more things.
The barrel of a ray gun.
The barrel of a ray gun, yeah.
Smarties necklace.
It could be like a really cool necklace for like,
Is it a candy necklace?
yeah, it does look like that. The candy necklace. You could paint each one a different color, like with a marker. And anyway, make an ornament, get it in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like and subscribe to this channel. We are doing this so you guys think it's cool. If not, let us know what we should do. We do take your advice. That's how the whole kit list series came about, because enough people said, hey, can you do a kit list series? So if there's something you're looking for, let me know or let Amy know. Anything I missed, Amy?
Somebody's asking about the diameters of the beading tool. I have it pulled up.
There's 4 different sizes of the beading tool. So Amy can share it in the chat maybe, or just go to turnerswarehouse.com and put in beading, and it should be the first thing that pops up. And then you can see them. But they fit the Easywood tools, and they work really well. This was my first time and second time, and although they're not perfect by any stretch, they're pretty cool for not knowing quite how to use it. And I really figured it out here, because this bottom half looks so much better than the upper half. So just a little practice would be worth its weight in gold. Any other deadlines I missed? Get your ornament in by the 20th. The auction starts the 27th-ish, and it runs for a week. When we do post auction, please share it.
Yeah, please. Make it go big.
Yeah. Awesome. Hope you all enjoy. Get out there and make something and give it a try. And if you want to, this thing, if you want to bid on this, it's going to be up for bid. It's going to be probably go real high, like hundreds of dollars.
People have to bid against me, though.
Yeah. This might get tens of dollars. I'm just kidding. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.